Hello and welcome back to White House Field's post-game podcast time after game number 20 of the season here. We're almost hitting the halfway point in the season. Of course, the Harwich Mariners unfortunately fell 7-6 in this one. There are definitely some positives to take away from tonight's game, especially in the hitting department. What were your thoughts on the batting from Harwich tonight?
Yeah, really for the third game in a row, we saw the bats for the Mariners come alive during that 5-game losing streak. They struggled to hit, and when they were hitting, they weren't driving runners home. The last couple of games, they were able to do really both of those things. Unfortunately, the pitching let them down tonight, which wasn't the case the previous two nights.
That's right. So Jacob Billingsley started tonight's game. What were your thoughts on him? I know he ran into some control problems early and worked the pitch count pretty high.
Yeah, really both starting pitchers we saw had control issues. We saw Billingsley throw way more balls than strikes, at least in the early going. I don't have the final count in front of me, but I can't imagine he worked his way back to throw more strikes than balls. I think there was also a run scored off of a wild pitch by Billingsley, so it really wasn't his best outing after he was really solid against Katuitt. But I think was something that is encouraging, going back to the offensive side of things. This was a game earlier in the season that the Mariners probably get blown out in, because we saw a lot of games where the pitching was keeping them in games, but the offense couldn't help out. We hadn't seen up to this point a game where the pitching was poor and the hitting made up for it. The last couple nights, particularly in this one, we saw something like that. It is encouraging going forward, because you're not going to have your best stuff on both sides of the ball every night.
That's right. So the starting pitching, of course, Billingsley ran into a little bit of trouble. What were your thoughts overall on the bullpen, whether it be Jamie Serra, Austin Hanson, and, of course, Cole Aker at the end of this one tonight?
Yeah, Hanson ran into a little bit of trouble, but outside of that, Serra and Aker were both solid. Like I said, Aker, outside of giving up that walk-off walk back at Saturday night in Chatham, he's been pretty solid this season, and as is most of the bullpen. Teddy Rodliff came in huge last night in the win against Hyannis. So really, I thought the bullpen was good. Cole Aker did all you could ask of him. He gave the Mariners a chance to win the bottom of the ninth, and they almost made a rally.
That's right, and that's going to do it here from White House Field. Of course, the Brewster Whitecaps taking this one 7-6 over the Harwich Mariners. From Austin Rooney and David Sugarman, we say so long until tomorrow night when the Mariners face off again against the Brewster Whitecaps.